Hello, I'm going to do a midday check-in on my trade. I did a morning analysis this morning, it's just here. I'm waiting for it to process so I can upload it, so it's a little bit late. It's currently 4:15. Noon session has just opened, Why does it look like that? Okay, that's better. Okay, as you can see, London session has just opened up pretty much. It's a US bank holiday tonight, which I actually didn't take into consideration this morning during morning analysis. I went on my phone and then I realized it, so it's not really good on my behalf. And also my weekly analysis, I didn't note that there was a US bank holiday. There's that, so most likely won't be a setup tonight, but we'll see. Like, if it ends up being past London and then that's basically out of hours, then I won't be taking a setup. We'll see. We can see that basically all of last week, but last week on Friday, I felt very, tempted. Like, my analysis was telling me to take shorts, but I knew, looking on a higher time frame by looking at my weekly analysis, hopefully that's saved. By looking at my weekly analysis, I knew that the short was just going to be basically correcting back down to this dynamic support level. I didn't know it, but I had this analysis there for a reason. There was multiple touch points. That's 3 touch points on this trend line, which is my dynamic support line. That's basically what told me that this would be an area where price was going to be supported, where buyers would kick in. I don't know if I used the right terminology there, but yeah, so that's why I didn't take a trade. And also I wasn't sure about price, because the US government shutdown had been happening. We've got everything going on with tariffs. We've got everything pointing towards gold being bullish, because gold is generally used as a safe haven for investors. So people who invest in the S&P 500 and people who invest in the US 100 and all of these other investments, they will typically also invest in gold as a safe haven. So if the US economy collapses, they know that gold is still going to hold its value because it's a commodity. It's not based off of different companies. For example, the US 500, which is the S&P 500, yes, that indice includes all these different companies like Microsoft, Apple, Tesla, all these different companies. So I'll use an example from back in the early days when I was learning about investing. Microsoft glitched for a few seconds and the economy collapsed. It crashed really, really badly. I think it was literally only about 5 minutes, but everyone in the world operating off of the ATM machines was not able to pay for anything. They weren't able to tap their card and pay. So the US economy just absolutely collapsed because of this. Not literally, but it had a heavy drop, and it was, it went and recovered, and it was completely fine. But just that single thing from a company affected the entire ETF, basically. So that's why an investor would choose to invest in gold at the same time, so that when that happens, they know that there's going to be money that's going to still be generating profits on gold there. And usually when anything crazy happens in the economy, people will take their money out of the investments and put it into gold as a safe haven. There's not really I feel like that's the best word. And I learned all of that from Googling and asking ChatGPT. I'll lie to you. But yeah, it was a lot of Googling. I was also reading articles as well, so it wasn't just all ChatGPT. But that was me when I was trying to learn about gold. Yeah, so anyway, I say that to say that because of everything that's happening in the world right now, the US government shut down the tariffs, the talk about a civil war in the US, what else? Everything that's happening in Palestine and with Israel and the US and everything, people are putting money into gold, and that's why gold has been pushing all-time highs for so long. So yeah, I mean, other things have been pushing all-time highs, but that's just kind of my analysis that I've come up with from learning about the economy and stuff like that, and also just listening to podcasts. Yeah, so when I saw that price made this movement down, which broke past these lows, so it made an indication and a correction, and then I was expecting it to continue. The correction can last however long, but when I saw price, I know the candle closes here, and I know that maybe I should use candle closes a little bit more in my analysis, but if you're looking at the wick, it's so close to that high, so this just was really a very, very strong bearish indication to me. And then it made this new indication here where it's gone down to a previous low. It's made an indication pass, and it's made this correction, and I wanted to get in probably around about here. So when price was correcting here, so you can see just from this candle itself, because obviously it closed here. So obviously price has made bullish structure up here, and then it's made bearish structure again, and then it's been pushing back down. So I was wanting to get in on a short, like, where's my thing? Around here, most likely. So what am I saying this for? I swear I was saying this for a reason. I can't remember, but yeah, I basically had that bias, and price is clearly continuing up. So it's made a new indication, but when you look at it, there's so many lines, so much going on these charts. I don't like it. All of these lines here are all alerts, by the way, so it's not my analysis. It's just a notification for when price hits that level. So now I'm looking at the charts, and I'm like, okay, I want to see an indication and a correction and a continuation that I can take a trade off of. Going bullish, but because there was this bearish movement here, basically this is like a trend reversal is happening here. So we'll see, especially with the US. What's it called? Bank holiday. I don't know about what is gonna happen. We've got this other indication level where price never retraced back to. But yeah, I don't know. With the US holiday happening, I don't really particularly know if price is going to play smoothly. It might be a little bit choppy just because it doesn't have that momentum that New York would typically bring in. I was gonna look at it. I was looking at it on the 4-hour because sometimes the 4-hour can be more clear, which it is pretty clear when you look at it here. I mean, still when you look at it, it's technically, if you go from, let's go here, it's made a high, made a higher low, it's made a higher high. And then even before this made a high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Because does that count as internal structure? I don't know. Am I forcing that? Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, there's not really much more to say about this check-in. I'm just basically seeing, okay, price is showing me that it wants to continue to go bullish. Got all lower highs here. So if we have a look at when price actually hits this level, you can see that it hits it twice. It uses it twice as resistance, makes equal highs here, and then pushes up. So it's pushed through. You can see that there is a level of momentum here. The momentum is not crazy. It's not insane momentum, but we've got three pretty solid consecutive would-be green candles, but I have mine as pink. We can see that the volume down here is increasing, so we can see that there is momentum back at this level. It's retested this level as support. I don't really like seeing ICC setups on a lower time frame. I find it works better when I use it on a higher time frame. I still want to see price correct back to this level and then continue up. So I don't know if price is making a reversal at the moment. It is making lower highs. As you can see, there's lower highs just here. So yeah, I guess I'm just going to wait and see. I'd want to see, ideally, is for price to continue to make those lower highs, correct back down to here. Or when I say here, anywhere. As long as it doesn't break... What's this? As long as it doesn't break this swing low, that would be nice. But even if it does break that swing low, if we look at it on a higher time frame, I think it's okay. Like if we look on it, for example, the 4-hour time frame, I think it's okay. Yeah, and once price retraces back into the no trade zone or back below this level, I want to see some bullish structure, ideally in London session, to carry price back up to this level. Now I want to see this happen in London session because New York obviously isn't opening. So because New York isn't opening, I want some type of volume. But yeah, that's basically my analysis. Is price going to do what I say it's going to do? No, but we'll wait and see if there are any good entries. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully it helped you out. Yeah, if you have any other video requests, let me know in the comments. And yeah, I'll see you guys later today. Bye.